Did you know that 10 million people in America suffer from bipolar disorder? Well, it has been shown that people with bipolar disorder have some sort of mood swings throughout the day. Bipolar disorder is an illness discovered in 1851 by French psychiatrist named Jean Parlet. According to the Helpline website that's updated January 10, 2012, it indicates that there's two types of bipolarism, type 1 and type 2. Bipolarism tends to happen to us without even noticing it, and result of depressed or stress. I myself experience mood swings when I'm stressed. It might not be bipolarism, but its symptoms are somewhat identical. Therefore, I have decided to do research on this topic. By learning more about bipolar disorder, you will have a better understanding of the disorder and every of its aspect. First, I will talk about what is bipolar disorder. Then I will talk about why it occurs, and lastly, I will talk about its current treatment. First, I will talk about what is bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is an illness that causes many different mood changes throughout the day, such as energy, activity levels, and gives it a hard time getting through people's daily tasks. According to the article Bipolar Disorder by the National Institute of Mental Health, last updated October 22nd, 2015, mentions the symptoms of bipolar disorder can lead to losing friendships, having negative thoughts, lack in work or school or any other situations. Bipolar disorder happens to us without even noticing it. For example, there could be a day that you're just in a very good mood, very happy and stuff, but then it's all of a sudden it's like a switch went off. You become all moody. You don't want to hear or see anyone. You just want to be on your own, like in your own space. Bipolar disorder can also be suffered because of depression, or your lifestyle isn't as good as it should be, or as well being passed on from family members. Now that I talked about a little bit of bipolar disorder, now I will explain why it occurs. The National Institute of Mental Health mentions that there is no certain cause for bipolarism, but it all connects to being passed on from family members, such as like your parents or uncles, your siblings, cousins, etc., etc. As you can see here, it's a man showing how stressed he is due to like work, debates, and business, etc. And on that picture, it shows how when you're depressed and you just want to be like on your own and in a very dark room. And the top, there's some statistics of how the general population is. That is 1% of how you get bipolar disorder. There's also like your sibling, the percent that there is. If you have like an identical twin or from your parents or one parent, it shows how each someone in your family, how the way you could get it. Okay, now that I talked about a little bit of how it can occur, now we'll talk about its current treatment. Bipolar disorder cannot be cured, but of course there is treatment for it that you can take throughout time. People can be helped to control their mood swings and their other symptoms by gaining control of it themselves first. The most effective treatment that there is out there is by getting help from like a doctor or someone you could talk to and tell your problems to. Another way would be getting in a health plan, such as like medications, because medications will help you control the way you act or feel throughout the day. Therefore, that's another effective way that is the current treatment at the moment, which is the doctor and medications. The medications can help you control the symptoms, and having them control will give you more power in dealing with stress created by bipolarism. Bipolarism tends to give you a lot of negative or positive, the way you act and feel throughout the day. To conclude, first I talked about a little bit. To conclude, now that I talked about a little bit more about bipolar disorder, you will now have a bit more understanding of the disorder and every of its aspects. Then first I talked about what is bipolar disorder. Then I talked about how it occurs, and lastly I mentioned its current treatment. So next time you see someone that suffers from bipolar disorder, just keep in mind that they go through everything they go through day and have some patience with them.